Okay, good evening. Sorry, good afternoon and assalamu alaikum. Now let's start the lesson. There is, I think, one student with the name Huawei Y7 Prime. I'm admitting him or her, I don't know, but okay, I'll inform uh, him or her that you have to come with your own registered name that is required. So let me inform the person first. Just a minute. So, Mr. Huawei Y7 Prime, I am removing you. You have to come back again with your school's registered name. Okay? You have to come back with the school's name. Okay, all right. So I think it's gone because, okay, no, all right. I think, okay, the person is gone. Okay, all right. I will add him or her. Okay, doesn't matter because it's still 9 minutes past 3. All right, I'm going to share the screen with you. You know there what we were doing early in the last class. Yes, we started the chapter. In fact, it's not a chapter. It's actually a concept which is in A2 syllabus. So we talked about in detail as far as enterprise resource planning is concerned. Okay, we discussed the definition, the advantages of ERP, right? And your supply chain management, I told you we will discuss that. So we discussed and we developed all the advantages. Then we discussed about the disadvantages of ERP as well. And now today's concept is supply chain. Okay. And if we are able to manage it, we call it supply chain management. It's a very critical part of every business. So what is written? Supply chain is it includes all the stages in the production process from obtaining raw materials to selling to the consumer. It means supply chain starts as soon as you start borrowing, you start buying raw material from your supplier. Okay. So it means that it starts from the supplier. Okay. And it ends when you are able to sell your products finally. Okay. So all activities which actually come in between, they all are part of supply chain activity, or we call it together supply chain. Okay. And businesses need to manage it very well, otherwise either they won't get the goods timely, I mean raw material or finished goods, or they may not be able to deliver the goods to the customers timely. Similarly, sometimes the customers can return the goods as well if they are not up to the mark. Again, you know that it can happen with the business as well. Maybe a faulty product or customer is not satisfied. So you have to address to that issue quickly as well. Again, this is part of supply chain management as well. Otherwise, if for example customer is not entertained at the time when customer wants, obviously the customer will be annoyed. Otherwise, even if customer gets a defective product, or maybe customer is not satisfied with the product, still customer will remain satisfied if you address the issue timely. Okay, and for that, supply efficient supply chain management is required. Now, if you see, okay, first of all, you need to plan out your supply chain. Okay, how things will go about, when to order for the raw material to supplier. Okay. Okay, after planning, because you will chalk it out and you will actually store it in a document so that you can refer to it anytime you want to see, for example, if supply chain management is not efficient, so you can see that what has happened, or whether we are according to our plan or not. You know that if desired objectives are not achieved. And what are the desired objectives? I told you earlier that you have to entertain customers, you have to produce the products to meet the deadlines. Okay, after that, okay, you ask for the raw material from the supplier. Okay, so supply chain starts, and then obviously the cost involved in that process. Okay, you take the account of it as well. Again, this is part of supply chain. Then you manufacture your items, then you deliver it to the customers. So sales is made, and finally, if there are any returns from the customer side, you receive them as well. So in return, either you replace the product, or you give them uh, the the money back, right? So this is how it is done. So if you see the next slide, you will see through the picture as well how supply chain management can be made effective using ERP, because our topic is enterprise resource planning. Okay, so it means supply chain management, I told you, it's very crucial. And to make it effective, to make it efficient, ERP helps it a lot. And let's discuss how it is done. Now you see it, the supply chain management. Okay, now inside the circle there is a business, and there are lots of activities going on inside the business, right? The business is responsible. Now if you see number one, okay, so there are numbers there in sequence. So supply chain actually starts with raw materials. You buy raw material from the supplier, and of course you plan for it first. Now we discussed it. You plan for it, and then you start with buying raw material. Then obviously the supplier delivers you the goods, the raw material or whatever you require. Then manufacturing is done using the raw material. After that, you the finished goods are distributed to those locations from where people can buy, or they are actually delivered to the doorstep of the customers, right? After that, so distribution is there, so it can be either sent to shops, I told you earlier, or at customer's place. And finally customer receives it, and supply chain comes to an end. So this is actually all about supply chain management. And for that, you know uh, that ERP helps a lot in maintaining that. How? Because it provides connecting links with the customer. It provides connecting links with the with the supplier as well, and even the distribution company, the company which is responsible to distribute the goods. So through ERP, with one single computer application, you will be able to communicate easily with all those people who are responsible for supply efficient supply chain management, right? So this is how. And you know that you can send requests to the supplier to deliver the goods timely, or if there is a change, you can, I discussed that in the last class as well. Okay. Even you can see that how many goods are in the manufacturing process and how many goods have been completed. So you can see that in which phase right now certain goods are. Okay. And you can see that whether there is a need to pace them up, or they may be in the uh, uh, they are actually uh, being produced at the right time, they are not delayed. So in that way, if there is no delay there as far as the manufacturing is concerned, so there will be no problem. But again, ERP tells you that at which stage the goods are there, and you can see whether you will be able to complete the products timely to meet the deadlines or not. All right. So this is how similarly, if I talk about the customers as well, because customers, if you need to deliver them timely, and you need to address to the queries of the customers. Okay. And if customers are not satisfied, so you have to again address them, or you need to address that issue, that okay, all right, within certain time frame we will collect the goods from you, and then we will either deliver uh, mm, the replacement, or we will give you the money back. So again, this needs to be communicated. Otherwise, if there is a delay without communication, so obviously the customers will be annoyed, and a bad image will be spread, because customers can these days, you know that social media uh, is actually one of the most common medium being used by everybody. So it's very easy to spread rumors or to create a bad image about any business. So ERP helps make the business handle supply chain management, supply chain efficiently, and able to satisfy customers to the maximum level. All right. Now, supply chain management through ERP, just have a look. I just discussed it. Improve delivery times and better customer service. How improve delivery time? Because you exactly know at which stage the products are, and whether it's the normal pace, or you will be able to achieve the target, or you think that there is a delay there in the production process. So you have to use more of the resources over there to pace it up so that you can meet the target. And obviously, you will be able to satisfy customers in a better way. It's not about only the delivery of the product, it's about answering the questions of the customers timely. And for that, ERP is very special. Better coordination between departments, again, through shared database. We discussed a lot about it in the previous class as well, that all departments, they actually have a shared database, and they can see the information, and if they think that their input is required, they do contribute. Okay. And they address to that issue. So in that way, all departments, they are interlinked with one another using the application, that is ERP. Then we have efficient management information system. I told you earlier, management information system, when management wants to spread information inside the organization, right, or sometimes outside the organization as well. So to convey important messages to workers, okay, and making sure that workers receive the message in the same way the business wants, and they actually act accordingly right away. So in that way, it actually leads to improved efficiency among workers as well. And workers will be absolutely clear what is expected from them and how to go about it as far as a particular production is concerned as soon as the order comes from the customer side. So again, so if you see efficient management information system, senior management has access to all the data of the process and departments of the organization. So in fact, the senior management which is not involved directly in the production process or in the delivery process or in buying raw material, they can also have an access that they can see that either things are going nicely in the normal way or there is some issue being raised. So without asking anybody, by looking at the progress through ERP, senior management can come to know whether the business is going in the right direction or not, or if the necessary steps which are needed to be taken, they can be taken by senior level management as well. So ERP helps them a lot as well. By sitting at their in their head office or in their office, they can see that the progress of the business as far as the production of goods are concerned or the delivery of services to the customers are concerned. All right, so that is the end of ERP. Any question regarding this concept, you are most welcome. If you have a question regarding ERP, because there I have seen a question in the past paper about ERP as well. So you might be requiring the advantage. They might require you to mention advantages and disadvantages with the proper development, and obviously with uh, with the context as well. Obviously, there will be a case study that will be given to you. No? All right. So, any question from anybody, you are most welcome. Regarding ERP, it's an important concept I am telling you. And in fact, you can use it in many ways. Like, for example, if there is a question about how to achieve efficiency, you can use ERP. You can mention ERP. So, it's not all about that whenever there is a direct question about ERP, you will write it. No, you can write it in by making it as an advantage for a business as well. If there is that sort of a question, right? For example, if there's a case there and there's a problem there that the businesses are not able to meet the demand of the customers timely, okay, and so how to go about it? Now, one of the reason, yes, training of the workers, motivation of the workers. So you can write a lot, but again, alongside it, you can talk about ERP as well. Introducing ERP system may help solve that problem. So in that, so it means ERP can be used in other questions as well, even if they are not directly related with ERP, or maybe there is no straight question about ERP. Do remember that as well. So yes, now I'm there to answer your questions. If you have any question, do let me know. Otherwise, we will move on to the next chapter, as I told you earlier. Asad Mirza, you are a newcomer, so you might not be able to understand what we are talking about. Is it so?
नहीं सर समझ आ रही है।
Okay, all right, good. So, okay, you are in the group as well. So, if you have any problem, you can talk to me through WhatsApp as well. So, I'm always there. My
थैंक यू।
students can actually ask me anytime, no issues. All right. So, moving onwards now. And again, I have given you an assignment, you know that. So, you have to do it, and those who will do it, obviously, because I will mark it in the same way. And these days, online classes are going on, and nobody knows whether from 11th of August the classes will resume or not. So the assignments become crucial. So you understand, okay? Because the summer exams are not there, so I have to send your marks so that a report can be developed. All right. So let me now share it with you. Just a minute. All right. I will take. I think who is there? Muhammad Junaid. Okay, all right. He was, I think, dropped. Okay, please mute your mic. All right, that is actually the next chapter. Okay, the name of the chapter is Lean Production and Quality Management. It's a lengthy chapter, and there is a possibility that the questions may come in your paper from this topic as well, because there are lots of concepts there, and so it's a fair bit of margin is there for the examiner to give some concepts from there as well, or to ask questions from this lengthy chapter. And remember, do not miss my class from now onwards. Reason is, one thing, this is a technical chapter and you need to be there. Secondly, the next chapter is again all about diagrams and calculations. So do not miss that, because that is about project management. And I'm telling you that questions, every now and then, questions come from that chapter as well. So now these two chapters are very important as far as P3 is concerned. So do attend all my classes from now onwards. Okay, lean production and quality management. Now, we need to understand first what is lean production. Now, you need to understand this is a concept which actually focuses on two things. One, reducing the time involved to produce goods and services, and reducing the wastage which results from the production process. Okay, so it means it focuses on reducing cost as well. Obviously, when you reduce your wastage resulting from the production process, obviously you you are able to reduce your cost as well. Okay, and second is reducing time as well, because when you reduce your time, it gives you, it provides you the efficiency. You are able to produce the products quickly. So obviously you will be able to meet the deadlines in the same manner. A better reputation will be there, because if a business is having a reputation that they always meet the deadlines, or customers are always satisfied, they always get the goods whenever they want. So this is actually a unique selling point for a business. It can be a competitive advantage for a business over other businesses. So lean production is an important concept, and all businesses, they want to adopt that as well. In fact, there are many ways to adopt lean production, because lean production is just a concept. It's not a method. We will study the methods which can help achieve lean production. But remember, whatever method you use, if you are able to reduce your cost, right, or wastage resulting from the production process, or you are able to, and sorry, not or, and you are able to reduce your time to produce goods and services, or to provide services to the customer. So we call it lean production. Now, the next is quality management. Again, you need to understand quality management means that you need to satisfy your customers. So obviously, it's not only about that you will produce high quality. Whatever goods you produce, they must be of the standard you maintain in the organization. Because if they are not of that same standard, obviously, and because you advertise in the same way, whatever standard you have in your organization, you actually tell your customers the same way that we have this much quality of product. Okay, but if you are not able to maintain it, obviously it will lead to greater customer dissatisfaction, because customers may buy from you by watching the advertisement or the promotion you had earlier, but later on, if they realize that maybe the good or the products are not up to the mark, or are not of the same standard they were claiming in the advertisements or through their other promotional methods. So again, it is very important to maintain the quality as well. You can improve your quality, yes, that's right, because it will increase satisfaction level of the people. Okay, and how we do it? These are actually the two core points which we will discuss that in this chapter. All right, now let's first talk about lean production. Okay, just a minute. All right, now lean production. Let's get started. This production method focuses on cutting down cost and time in the production process to produce quality output with fewer resources. Okay, now, so there are many things there. Cutting down cost, you understand, I discussed it. Cutting down time, again, you understand. uh, you know that, for example, if there is less wastage there, for example, the workers are working and they are not making mistakes, they are well trained. Okay, so obviously when they won't make mistakes, they will be able to produce more. Okay, their productivity level will be high. But think about a worker who every now and then makes a mistake, and then that worker has to rework. Okay, has to reproduce that product. Okay, because the raw material which was earlier used, it was not of any use now. It is a wastage now, right? So rework will be required. So obviously it will increase the production time. Simple as that. And you know that how it happens. Okay. So and then why you do it? To produce quality output. Now quality output means which is able to satisfy people's needs and wants, or which can satisfy people. Simple as that. It's not about that the product is actually or it involves maybe a very expensive raw material or ingredients. No, as far as customer is satisfied, we can call the product a quality output. Remember, for example, if customer is requiring uh, a, a, a medium quality product at a reasonable price and you are able to offer it to the customers, so it will be called a quality output. Why? Because customer is satisfied. Okay, because some customers they focus on the price they pay, some customers they focus on the quality they get. So it actually depends. But again, with fewer resources, it means resources should not be wasted. Again, so it means that if you are efficient, you might not require more workers, more machinery, more space. Okay, because you are able to meet the demand with the minimum of resources, because less time is taken, less wastage is there. So obviously it becomes easier for the business to use fewer resources. So this is all about lean production. Okay, any question regarding this concept? So you are most welcome.
सर ये वाला कॉन्सेप्ट एक दफा फिर से बता दे जरा, समझ नहीं आई।
Lean production?
जी सर।
All right, Shahdev. Shahdev, listen. Lean production is a concept in which your focus is to cut down cost and time, which is involved in the production process. Whatever you do, because we will study in this chapter various methods to achieve lean production. But whatever you do, if you are able to reduce your cost of production or the cost involved in the production process and the time taken by the workers to produce certain items, if you are able to reduce it, we say that the business is able to achieve lean production. Remember. Okay. And but what happens when you achieve lean production? You are able to satisfy customers as well, because you are able to produce the quantity which is required by the customer. And obviously, fewer resources will be required if you are able to achieve lean production. How? Because if less wastage is there and if workers are actually working to their full potential, okay, you may not require more workers, you may not require more land, because now you are able to produce large quantity with fewer resources, because nothing is wasted and all resources they are being used in the best possible way. So that is all about lean production. But again, the focus is cost cutting and reduction in time taken to produce goods and services. That is basically the focus of lean production. Shahzev, got it?
यस सर, थैंक यू।
All right. Moving onwards. Now, these are very important concepts which are linked with lean production. So that's why you need to be very focused. This is somewhat technical as well. Simultaneous engineering. Just a minute. Just hold on. All right. Now, simultaneous engineering, you need to understand. It means there are various activities which need to be performed in a business. You know that. Okay. So, if you are able to start various activities together, if you think that you are able to do it, then we call it simultaneous engineering. I'll give you an example. And that is a very important concept to reduce the time taken to produce goods and services. For example, a new machinery needs to be introduced, okay, to produce goods and services, and you require raw material as well, okay, and then workers, they require training as well. Now, what you can do, for example, if you actually give the order for that new machinery, and then after getting the machinery you go for buying raw material, and then you ask workers to take training, okay, or to get trained. Now in that case, maybe more time will be taken. So what you can do, when you actually order for the new machinery to arrive, meantime you can actually give order for the raw material to reach your destiny as well. Now, this saves time, and now this is what we call simultaneous engineering. Two activities have been started in parallel. Okay, so two activities are going in parallel, and that will save time rather than when you wait for one activity to complete and then you start another activity. It is better to start those activities which can be started together. You need to start them together, and for that you need to find out which activities can be started together. So it will save time and it will help business achieve lean production. Okay, anybody who is still not clear about what is simultaneous engineering? I'm there to answer. All right, so it means there's no question. Okay, moving forward. Next concept, which is again very important for lean production, that is flexible specialism. Now, what is that? It is similar to, it is a concept which tells that if there is a concept specialization. When we talk about specialization, it means workers, they perform only one task at a time and they repeat that task. Okay, you know that, like for example, I teach business, so I keep on teaching business the whole day, right, to different schools and classes. This is specialization. Okay, but flexible specialism means when workers are able to do different tasks or variety of tasks. Okay, and they do have the specialization as well. Like if workers are multi-skilled and they are expert in performing different jobs in the same way, they are equally efficient. And obviously for that you know training is required so that workers get expert in more than one task. We call it flexible specialism. And why it is required and how it actually linked with lean production, I'm
सर
explaining
प्लीज
you.
रिपीट कर दें
What happened?
रिपीट कर दें सर
Rabia, okay, all
जी
right. I'm saying flexible specialism is a concept which is a mixture of flexibility and specialization. Specialization means when a worker is able to do one job only, because the worker is only have that skill to perform that job time and again. Right? This is specialization. Flexibility means when a worker is able to perform different jobs. Okay. So when we say, but that worker is able to perform different jobs, but that worker might not be that efficient in all of the jobs. One worker might be able to teach, for example, if I talk about business, so I might be good in teaching business, but I might not be good in teaching economics. But if I am given the task, this is flexibility, right? I can teach both of them, okay? So, but I am not that good in teaching economics, for let's say. So, this is flexibility, okay? But when we say flexible specialism, this means that now workers are expert in more than one task. They are equally good in different variety of tasks. And do you know why it is required in lean production? Because let's say one worker is absent, so the other worker can take the position of that worker, and that worker will perform his or her own job as well, and the job of that absent worker as well, with the same perfection. Because perfection is important. We discussed about quality output. Because if that worker takes the position of that worker on a given day and the quality is not up to the mark, So we can't call it a quality output, or customer won't be satisfied if that quantity is or product is bought by the customer. So flexible specialism is an important concept where workers, so what happens? There is no delay. Even if there is one or more than one workers who are absent, still the production will continue in the same manner and the same quality level will be achieved because workers are multi-skilled, okay, and they can perform different jobs with the same amount of perfection. So this is how it is done. So again, it will save time. So I told you lean production is all about saving time or cost. So whatever I explain, either I will actually end it up with saving cost or saving time. Simultaneous engineering, it leads to uh, saving time, right? You can save time when you perform different activities together, okay? In the second concept, flexible specialism, you are able to again save time, okay? So this is how it is done. And the last is cell production. Now these three important concepts are there and lean production is based on them. Now what is cell production? It is quite similar to specialization, but what happens that groups are formed, okay, within the organization, and those groups are actually responsible to perform a certain task, but they do not perform it individually. There is a team there. Obviously, when I talk about group, obviously it means that there are number of employees there, right? So they actually are responsible to perform a certain task. For example, if I say there is actually a factory where cars are manufactured, right? So now, for example, if they say one of the activity of car manufacturing will be done by one of the group, let's say paint, paint of the car. These days, you know that paint is normally done by robots, but still, if I say that yes, there is a team of workers who are responsible to paint cars. Now, that group of workers will be responsible for the paint of the car. That's it. Now, how they decide about which worker will be painting which part of the car, it obviously purely the discretion of the team. They will decide on their own, right? But what will happen, because that team will keep on painting the cars, so obviously they will be the experts in painting cars. Okay, so less time will be taken, one thing, and second is quality will be better, and no wastage or minimum of wastage will happen because now